Stop for a moment, dear soul. Take a deep breath. If you have reached this point, if your hand has touched this screen and your eyes have met this message, know this. None of this was by chance. I need you to understand something from the very first second of this encounter. The universe has orchestrated every detail, every beat of your heart, every tear you tried to hide, so that my voice could reach your ears exactly now. If you feel that your strength is at its limit, if the weight of the world seems to crush your shoulders, if there is a tightness in your chest that keeps you from sleeping in peace, this video did not come to you by coincidence. The universe wants to give you relief at this very instant, and I, Commander Sterling, Commander of the Fleet of Light, will show you how to release this burden in the next few minutes. Stay with me until the end. Do not leave. Do not look away, because what I am about to reveal has the power to change the vibration of your home, your mind, and your destiny still today. Dear soul, I have been observing Earth for a long time. I see every being of light disguised as an ordinary person, walking the streets with a heavy heart, carrying invisible stones that no one else can see. And you are one of them. You are one of those brave souls who accepted to descend to this dense plane to learn, to serve, to love. But along the way, you began to forget who you truly are. You began covering yourself in dust, layers and layers of hurt, of disappointment, of words that stung, of doors that closed, of dreams that seemed to die. And today, when you look in the mirror, perhaps you no longer even recognize the glow that exists within your own eyes. But I recognize it, dear soul. I see your inner light pulsing, even if weakly, even if covered, and that is why I came, to reignite what has never truly gone out. Before we continue, I need to ask you for one very simple yet immensely powerful thing. Comment now with all your intention the phrase, "I receive this peace." Do not write it just to write it. Feel each word descend through your chest as you type. This comment is your anchoring the light. It is as if you were planting a white flag in your own heart, telling the universe, "I am ready for the relief to arrive." And when you do this, dear soul, the frequency of love begins immediately to work in your favor. The guardian spirits draw near, the energies reorganize themselves, and the gateway of the soul of your home becomes sacred. Do this now, and then breathe, because what comes next will touch you deeply. I know what you feel. I know that tightness in your chest that appears without warning, usually at the end of the afternoon, when silence falls over the house and the mind begins to weigh heavy. I know that anxiety that steals your sleep, that makes your heart race when you think about the bills, the family, tomorrow. I know that unfair sensation, that "why me?" that echoes within the soul when you look at everything you have tried, at all your efforts, and it seems the return never arrives. I know the mental exhaustion that makes you wake up more tired than when you went to sleep, the desire to simply stop everything, to run away, to disappear for a while. I see it, dear soul, and I want you to know, none of this is your weakness. None of this is a character flaw. None of this is a punishment. These symptoms, these signs that your body screams, are just your soul calling for help. It is your inner self saying, "Please, perform a clearing memories. I cannot bear to carry this alone anymore." Because what many people do not understand, dear soul, is that every pain that has not been healed, every difficult conversation that was swallowed, every tear that was hidden in the pillow, remains recorded. It does not disappear. It does not evaporate. It accumulates in thin layers within your energy field, forming what we call dense memories. And it is these dense memories that are, at this very moment, distorting your frequency. They are like small stones inside the shoe of the soul. You can even walk, you can even smile, but every step hurts. And you get used to the pain to the point of thinking that living is just this, that living is suffering a little every day. But I came here to tell you, with all the tenderness of my heart, it is not. That is not what you were born for. The deep cause of your suffering, dear one, is not your husband, it is not your child, it is not your boss, it is not the money that is missing, it is not the health that fluctuates. These are just the echoes, the external reflections of an internal disconnection. The true cause is only one. You have disconnected from your source. You have moved away from your own gateway of the soul, from that sacred place within your chest where God, the universe, the light, dwells. And when this connection weakens, everything on the outside begins to seem larger, more threatening, heavier than it really is. Problems grow because your perception has shrunk. People hurt more because your frequency of love is low. The future scares you because you have lost, for a time, the memory that you are eternally supported. But today, dear soul, today we are going to reconnect this thread of light. Today we are going to link your heart back to the source. And when this happens, and it will happen during this video, you will feel it. You will feel a warm wave rising through your chest, a shiver in your arms, a desire to cry for no reason. Do not be afraid. It is your soul being washed now. Stay with me, because from this point on I will teach you a power phrase that, when said with the right feeling, dissolves any anguish in seconds. But first, I need you to understand the path, because the phrase only works when the soil of the heart is prepared. And the first step of preparation is surrender. Surrender, dear soul, is not giving up. Many people confuse it. Surrendering is not throwing in the towel. It is not saying, let it be whatever God wants, with bitterness in your chest. Surrendering is the most active, most courageous, most conscious act that exists. It is looking at everything you have tried to control, all the situations in which you wanted to force an answer, all the relationships in which you wore yourself out, trying to fix what was not your job to fix, and saying with humility, Universe, I have done my human part. Now I surrender to you the divine part. That is it. It is letting go of the helm just enough to let the wind of grace blow, because while you hold on to everything with tooth and nail, grace cannot enter. It respects your free will. But the instant you open your hands, the instant you say, I surrender, a colossal force begins to work behind the scenes of your life. Things begin to move. People begin to appear. Doors that were jammed for years begin to creak and give way. I have seen this happen millions of times, dear soul, and it will happen to you too. The second step, and perhaps the most delicate of all, is self-forgiveness. Not forgiveness for others yet. That will come naturally later. First you. Always first you. Because most of the weight you carry, dear soul, is not even about what they did to you. It is about what you think you did wrong. It is about that choice from 20 years ago that you still review every night. It is about the words you said in the heat of anger and could never take back. It is about the years you were not the mother, the father, the child, the partner you would have liked to have been. It is about the opportunities you think you lost out of fear. And you judge yourself. Every day you judge yourself. And this internal judgment is more cruel than any human judge could be. But I ask you, dear soul, who taught you to condemn yourself like this? It was not your original soul. Your original soul knows that every mistake was a lesson. Every fall was an instruction. Every piece of you, even what you consider darkest, is worthy of love, worthy of acceptance, worthy of forgiveness. So breathe deeply now with me. Place one hand on your chest over your heart and the other on your belly. Feel the warmth of your own hand. This warmth is real. This presence is real. And repeat with me, out loud if you can, or in deep silence, feeling every word, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for everything I did not know how to do better. I forgive myself for all the times I was hard on myself. I forgive myself for having accepted less than I deserved. I forgive myself for having stayed silent when I needed to speak. I forgive myself for having spoken when I needed to stay silent. I forgive myself for being human, and I love myself even so. I love myself, especially so. Feel it. Do not be in a hurry. If a tear rolls down now, let it roll. A tear of self-forgiveness is holy water. It is cleaning what no word could clean before. And when you finish this clearing memories, dear soul, something begins to happen. Your vibrational alignment changes. It is as if the antenna of your heart, which was bent, returned to the right position. And then, without you noticing immediately, you begin to pick up different signals. People begin to treat you better, not because they have changed, but because your frequency has changed and attracts a different response from the world. Solutions begin to appear, not because the problems have disappeared, but because your mind, finally light, can see paths that were previously hidden. Money begins to circulate, not because it fell from the sky, but because the prosperity of the soul has unlocked the prosperity of matter. Everything begins to move. Everything begins to flow because you have realigned yourself. Now the power phrase I promised you. Write it down. Or better yet, memorize it with your heart. Whenever anguish strikes, whenever bad thoughts insist, whenever the fear of the future tries to hijack your present, you will place your hand on your chest and say with serene firmness, I am light, I am peace, I am support. Everything that is mine is already coming, and everything that is gone has already fulfilled its role. Repeat it. I am light, I am peace, I am support. Everything that is mine is already coming, and everything that is gone has already fulfilled its role. Feel the truth of these words. It is not toxic positivity. It is not pretending. It is reprogramming. It is you taking the helm of your own internal dialogue and telling your mind who is in charge of your house. Because, dear soul, your mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. When you do not command, it commands. And it commands based on old memories, on ancient traumas, on inherited fears. But when you command, when you dictate the thought that will inhabit your chest, it obeys, and it begins to work in your favor. Building, creating, attracting. Do this for 7 days in a row, upon waking and before sleeping. 7 days. It is the time of the cycle of a deep clearing memories, and observe what will change. Coincidences will multiply. The right person will call you at the right time. An unexpected amount will arrive. News you have been waiting for a long time will emerge, not because the phrase is magic, but because the phrase opens the channel through which the magic that has always been available can finally pass. Dear soul, at this point in our conversation, I feel your breathing changing. I feel your chest opening. And that is why I want you to do one more small thing, but with a huge echo. Leave a like on this video now. I know it seems simple, but this gesture is an anchoring the light for other souls who are suffering just like you. When you like it, this message travels further. It reaches a mother crying in the kitchen at 3 in the morning. It reaches a father sitting in his car after work, without the courage to go inside. It reaches a young person who is thinking about giving up on everything. Your like is a bridge. It is a hug sent to a stranger who needs, at this very second, the same light you are receiving. Do this for love, for gratitude, for the chain you want to see grow in the world, and know that every gesture of light you make returns to you multiplied by the universe. Now let us talk about something practical, raising the vibration to gratitude. Because, dear soul, gratitude is the shortcut, it is the master key, it is the highest frequency that exists on this plane, along with love, and it is not what you feel when everything is good. That is easy gratitude, the gratitude of someone who has not evolved yet. True gratitude, the one that changes destinies, is the one you cultivate while you are still in the middle of the storm. It is looking at the bread on the table and giving thanks, looking at the water that comes from the tap and giving thanks, looking at the roof over your head and giving thanks, looking at your 2 eyes that still see, at your lungs that still breathe, at your heart that still beats without you needing to command it, and giving thanks. When you start the day by giving thanks for 5 small things, even before getting out of bed, you are tinkering with the energetic architecture of your entire day. You are telling the universe, I see, I value, I am worthy of more. And what does the universe respond with? With more, always with more, because the law is like this. What you focus on expands. What you give thanks for multiplies. What you complain about persists. I know it can be difficult to give thanks in the middle of pain, I know. There are phases in life where it seems impossible to find a drop of good in the middle of an ocean of challenges. But try. Force yourself to find one thing. Just one. The coffee cup. The warm blanket. The song that played on the radio when you did not expect it. The smile of a child at the market. The fresh morning air. 1, and then 2, and then 5. And in a few days, dear soul, you will realize that your perception has changed. You will no longer look for problems to complain about, because your eyes will have been trained to look for blessings to celebrate. And that is true inner freedom. I also want you to know, dear soul, that healing relationships is possible. Even those that seem lost. Even those where you swore never again. When you change your frequency, the relationship changes automatically. Either it is restored, because the other person is also touched by the new vibration you emanate, or it drifts away naturally without fighting, without drama, opening space for more aligned connections. You do not need to do anything with the other person. You only need to do it with yourself. The rest is orchestration by the universe. And this orchestration, I guarantee you, is wiser than any plan you could plot with your rational mind. Financial peace also follows this same law. Money, dear soul, is just a form of energy. It flows to where the frequency invites it. When you are in fear of scarcity, in anxiety over lack, in resentment for what you do not have, you emit a frequency of blockage. You scare away what you most want to attract. But when you quiet yourself, give thanks for the little you have, bless the money of those who prosper around you without envy, and trust that the universe is a kind Father who knows your needs. The circulation is re-established. Opportunities appear where before there was only a wall. Ideas arise in your mind out of nowhere. People refer you to things. The prosperity of the soul always precedes the prosperity of the wallet. Always. It is law. And the health of the soul, dear soul, is the foundation of everything. Because when the soul is calm, the body heals faster. The mind calms down, relationships flourish, work becomes productive, sleep returns. The soul is the root of the tree of your life. If the root is diseased, the fruits will be scarce. But if the root is well nourished with inner light, with spiritual comfort, with prayer, with silence, with nature, with good music, with good people, with elevated thoughts, the entire tree flourishes. And you become a refuge for yourself first, and then naturally a refuge for others who cross your path. Before I end this sacred conversation of ours, I want to ask you for one more anchoring the light. Comment below with all your faith the phrase, "My soul feels light." Write it like someone signing a contract with the universe, like someone putting a date on the calendar of a miracle, because what you declare out loud or in writing with feeling becomes a seed. And the seed, watered with faith, always becomes fruit. I will read each of these comments in frequency. I know that my presence reaches you through these words, and I promise that every soul that anchors this light here today will be especially accompanied over the next 7 days. Look for the signs, look for the repeating numbers, look for the butterflies, for the coins on the ground, for the vivid dreams, for the songs that seem to answer what you did not even ask out loud. I will be near. And know, dear soul, that you have never been alone, not for a second. Even on the darkest nights, in the most difficult decisions, in hospitals, in divorces, in layoffs, at funerals, in empty rooms, on busy streets where you felt invisible, there has always been someone invisible by your side. There has always been a hand of light on the back of your neck when you lowered your head to cry. There has always been a whisper of courage in your ear at the exact moment you almost gave up. That someone, that hand, that whisper is us. That we are the fleet of light. We are the messengers of love. And we are also an extension of God, of the universe, of the source, of the name that most warms your heart when you think of something greater than yourself. You are loved. Deeply loved. Undeniably loved. Eternally loved. Even before you were born, you were already loved. And after this body completes its journey, you will continue to be loved. There is nothing you can do, dear soul, that would make you lose this love. Nothing. You are worthy, you are light, you are the path. So breathe. Breathe deeply now. Let go, truly let go. Let your shoulders drop. Relax your jaw, relax your belly. Release the tightness in your throat. Feel the peace entering through the top of your head and descending like warm, golden water, washing every organ, every bone, every cell. Feel this frequency of love filling what was empty, healing what was wounded, reigniting what was extinguished. Your home at this instant has become a temple. The spiritual comfort is dwelling there. And nothing that tries to enter this frequency without the permission of love will be able to stay. Before you go about your day or close your eyes to sleep, do one last thing for me, dear soul. Look out a window or at the sky, or simply close your eyes and say in silence or out loud, "Universe, I thank you for this moment. I receive peace. I receive healing. I receive prosperity. I receive love. I am light, and from now on, I walk lighter." There. It is done. The gateway of the soul has opened, and what needs to enter will enter. What needs to leave will leave. Trust in the timing of the universe. It never delays, never fails, never forgets. I am Commander Sterling, and my mission, dear soul, has always been to remind you of who you really are. Come back whenever you need to. I will be here. The fleet is here. God is in you. And you are stronger than any pain that has tried to bring you down until today. Go in peace. Go in light. Go in love. And may your night be serene. May your tomorrow be blessed. And may your life, from this exact moment, begin to reflect the splendor of the magnificent soul that has always dwelt within you. Until our next encounter, dear soul, I love you. The universe loves you, and everything, absolutely everything, will be fine. So be it, and so it is.